Welcome to my Q&nA, which stands for questions and no answers. By the way, I'm actually sick right now, and the only reason why I can functionally talk without coughing after every word is because I just took a boatload of cough syrup. So there you go. Now, I was going to make a video of me calculating the statistics of how many gifts Santa delivers and how many cookies he eats, etc. But I realized that would be pretty complex because there are so many factors you have to take it. For example, you have to take into account that some people celebrate Christmas, some people don't. You have to take into account who's on the nice list and who's on the naughty list and how many people there are on those two lists. And also some some denominations of Christianity have Christmas on, I believe it's January 5th. Um so anyways, not even if people celebrate Christmas, not every single person celebrates it on December the 25th. So I just felt like it would be pretty complicated and it would take a long time. And I really wanted to get this out before Christmas. So I might do that in the future, but for today, I'm just going to ask the questions that have been burning in my mind for as long as I can remember, ever since I was a little kid. Okay, so the first question I have is, how many calories does Santa Claus get from all those cookies and all those glasses of milk that people leave out for him? I know that there must be millions, if not billions, of cookies and gallons upon gallons of milk. And Santa Claus Does Santa Claus eat all of that? Because if he does, where does it go? Because I doubt his stomach can hold that much food. And I guess, assuming he can eat it somehow, how much weight gain would that cause after one night? Or does he not gain any weight because of how fast he has to move in order to deliver all those presents? Because even though I didn't calculate how many gifts he delivers, I read a few articles about that number, and they all give varying answers. But either way, Santa has to deliver at least thousands of gifts every second, if not tens of thousands of gifts every second. And so to sorry, for him to deliver all of those gifts, mommy, excuse me, guess the cough syrup is wearing off a bit. But in order for him to get in and out of all the chimneys fast enough to deliver that many gifts in a second, he must burn a lot of calories. So I guess maybe the cookies and milk are justified. However, in other cultures, and um, I think it's the UK and Australia, if I'm not mistaken, in those cultures, children leave out mince pies and alcoholic drinks like sherry or whiskey. At least that's what they do, to my knowledge. So if Santa also eats and drinks from those households, then he must be drinking gallons upon gallons of sherry and whiskey and beer and whatever else they leave for him. So, how does he stay sober? That is my question. Because he has to drive his sleigh and his reindeers. So, even though he's up in the sky, actually, actually, especially since he's up in the sky, he has to be sober to drive that sleigh, right? So, how does he do that? And how does his one sleigh carry all of the gifts that he needs to deliver? Like, does he have some kind of magical portal in his sacks? Because, from judging by the size of his sleigh, if he were just carrying the gifts in normal sacks without magic, he would not be able to carry enough gifts to travel around the world without going back to refill his sacks every every few households. And so I know I'm probably overthinking it, but ever since I was a kid, I have just had a lot of these questions about the logistics of what Santa Claus does because I think it's really impressive and I've always wanted to know how he does it. And by the way, even if he burns up all of the calories he eats, still there is so much water content from all that milk and the other bever- beverages. So even if he burns up everything else, where does all that water go? Because if he's processing it normally, then he probably has to use the bathroom pretty often on his trip around the world, and he would have to stop, which would further delay him while he is sending gifts at a rate of thousands or tens of thousands of gifts per second. And if he doesn't use the bathroom, that means he's probably sweating out all that water. So, how is his sleigh not flooded? So, I know these questions are ridiculous. I probably could have come up with better questions and perhaps even given some answers to my own questions if I had some more time. But I have just been sick and in bed for the past ever since winter break started, and prior to winter break I have been really busy with school. So in order to get this out before Christmas, I guess this is just kind of what I can give you while I'm in this a bit of a rush. Thank you for watching and goodbye.